Tonight, in the Door Racing League, somebody is going to get to kiss the bricks because we are here tonight on Maconi Entertainment for 104 laps from the Brickyard. Welcome in, I'm Sky Shrek. I'm joined up here in the booth tonight by Jeremy Briggs, and DJ Lyon is our producer, and we've got a great field tonight of 27 cars for some action at the 2.5-mile Indianapolis Motor Speedway. You can see our schedule right there. We roughly follow the real-life NASCAR schedule, so we ran Chicago Street, Sonoma, Dover over the last few weeks. We've got our own Brickyard here today, followed by Iowa, the Glen, Richmond, Daytona, and Darlington to close out the month of August. Looking at our track info here, Jeremy, tell us why Indy is such a special place.
Indianapolis, such a rich history, so many years of so much racing, 2.5 miles, only 9.2 degrees of banking before turns. It's kind of got those short suits in between. It can lead to some pretty chaotic moments, but we've seen here all season long with door-to-door racing. It's been great racing every season. Boy, and we take a look at this track temperature, 102 degrees. These drivers are going to have their hands full.
Yeah, it's going to be a hot one here today, and that is going to make it a little tougher on these drivers. Looking at our point standings, Trevor Baxter has been absolutely dominant all year. He's only ran 17 races of the 21 we've had in this series, but he's won 10 of them. The good news for everybody else is that he is not in the field today, meaning Daniel Best in second might have a shot to break through for his second win. Danny Carpenter in third might have a shot to break through for his first win. Stephen Bird sits in fourth, Michael Reeves fifth, Joshua Hyatt, Thomas Freeman, Ronald Judd, Nathaniel Pollard, and Joshua Switzer round out your top 10. And then back from there, you've got Thomas Hegland, Hugh Brown, William Lark, James Nesta, Brian Wasserman, and Bradley Knopsnyder, who is in by 28 points right now on that cutoff over Joshua Sanchez. Looking at our race analysis here tonight, we're going to run 104 laps as mentioned. Stage breaks on lap 26 and lap 52, meaning you don't need to pit in those first two stages, but you almost certainly will need to make a pit stop in the third one, especially with 75% fuel tonight. The first two will be a little close. The third one is absolutely going to be a one-stopper. 5 tire sets available in this race. 1 is on the car, 4 are back in the pits, and we have 1 green-white checkered overtime finish if we were to need it tonight. We are going to head straight into our starting lineup here as the cars start to get gridded up for our 104 laps tonight around Indianapolis Motor Speedway. You see it there. We got a whole golf course, we got a road course, we got a dirt track in the infield. They got everything here. Doing everything in qualifying and starting on pole tonight is the 3-car of Brian Burchett. Outside of him will be Miguel Peralta Alvarez in the 19. Stephen Bird rolls off from third tonight in the 26. Chris Chavez Essery goes from fourth in the 4. Alan Duggar, winner of 2 of our last 3 races, goes from 5th in the 15 car with Billy Brickley in the 69 in P6. Row 4 tonight will be William Hewitt in the 17 on the inside, Joshua Sanchez in the 22 on the outside, and rounding out our top 10 will be Michael Reeves in the 00 and Brian Wasserman in the 57.
Right there in the number 11 starting spot, the number 28 of Danny Carpenter. In the 12th starting spot, got the number 74 of Ryan Steinhoff. In the 13th starting position, the number 7 of Hugh Brown. And 14th to get the 41 of Michael Kurgelak. In the 15th starting spot, you got the number 87 of Bradley Knopsnyder. 16th starting spot, you got the 16 of Nate Pollard. 17th starting spot, got the 99 of Thomas Hegland. And 18th spot, you got the number 1 of Paul Danino. 19th starting spot, that would be race control. And the 20th spot, you got the number 10 of William Lark. 21st, you got the number 11 of Steve Lamar, and the 22nd spot, you got the 76 of Gus Otero. 23rd spot, you got the 6 of Joshua Switzer. 24th, the number 5 of Daniel Best. 25th on that cutoff line here tonight, the number 2 of Joshua Hyatt. And 26, you got the 64 of Ronald Judd. And 27th, running out of field, is Tommy Osborne.
And that'll be our 27-car field here tonight at Indianapolis as these drivers get ready to go for 104 laps tonight at the Brickyard. That's just over about a 60. I believe it is a maybe 65% length race here in comparison to real life. I will get the calculator out on that one so we can double check. Yes, it is a 65% race. As mentioned, air temperature 81 degrees, but track temperature is going to be way up there at 103 tonight. Cloudy skies might help to bring that down over the course of the race. Same with the fact that we're starting at 3 p.m. in the afternoon. We should expect to see that track temp go down. The question will be how much. 9 miles an hour, wind coming out of the north tonight as well.
As the drivers are here on the formation here at lap here, Sky, one of the stories here that I'm excited to cover is Alan Duggar in that 15 car. He's one of those drivers that's been kind of chipping away, trying to get himself into the playoffs, because they have made a decision here late in the season that they had so many drivers coming in and winning that they had to pretty much point their way into the playoffs. And Alan Duggar, one of those drivers getting those multiple wins on the outside looking in. We'll see if he can capitalize tonight and close in that gap and maybe get himself into those playoffs.
Alan Duggar definitely wants to improve his finishes here over the next few weeks, get himself into the playoffs. As mentioned, when Trevor Baxter does not run, Alan Duggar is the driver to beat, and I think he will be that once again here tonight, rolling off from 5th. We know he's got the ability to get it done in these races, and I would not be surprised if he gets it done again here tonight at Indy. We're going to roll out of turn 4 here, and when we hit that front straightaway, we will be green for 104 laps of the Brickyard. Pace car is going to pull into the pits here, and on the front row, it'll be Brian Burchett and Miguel Peralta Alvarez. Heading to green. It's out. We're away at Indy.
As the cars begin to roar to life down the backstretch, finally getting up to speed, getting through turns 1 and 2, clean and green. We look at the battle here up at the front. Alvarez, Burchett into turns 3 and 4 side by side.
Door to door, just like the name of the series here for those two, but prevailing right now will be Miguel Peralta Alvarez. Gets that first position over Brian Burchett there in second. Chavez Essery's gotten himself up to 3rd now, over Billy Brickley, who's gotten up to 4th. It's been a bad start for Stephen Bird, who's dropped from 3rd pretty far back through the field. He's running in 5th right now, under threat from Joshua Sanchez there, sitting in 6th as Bird tries to go high, and he's nearly in the fence trying to hold that position.
Ooh, 26 extremely tight there into that short shoot through 1 and 2. That's going to help Alan Duggar capitalize. Get a good run, make that pass. Put Alan Duggar on the outside looking in. Stephen Bird, one of those drivers we've noticed later into the season here, starting to make his name with the front. Starting to fall back here though early on.
Yeah, Stephen Bird not having a great start to this race as he continues to slip back through the field, now all the way back to 9th. You gotta wonder, is he saving or is he just really struggling to run that top? I think he might get some of the speed back if he's able to pull down into the line, get on the bottom. But right now, that just does not seem to be happening for that 26 car. He's stuck on the top. He doesn't really know how to get that line going, and he's falling back in a hurry. He'll finally drop down in place there in 11th, but it has been a disaster after starting 3rd for the driver of that 26 car. Stephen Bird is going to have a lot of work to do. We got some contact a little further back in the field there. That is the 11 car of Lamar back there. No, we're going to go 3 wide a little further back for good measure. You've got Hyatt shooting it straight through the middle there on Danino and Hugh Brown. That 7 car is the one way slow down the back straightaway, but we get it all single file back out before we head down into turns 3 and 4.
One of the cars I'm watching right now, the number 1 of Paul Danino back here in 20th position, having a little bit of trouble, having some quite a big moments. Everybody seems to be getting it sorted out back here in the field, but right now, Paul Danino just trying to get it caught back up. He almost got the wall a couple times. I believe William Lark and the number 10 may have scraped the wall one time as well.
Battle going on. Michael Kurgelak on the inside, of Nate Pollard in the 16, trying to get that 41 car up into P13, but he's a little loose, not able to grab that position back there. He continues to sit, waiting and watching, biding his time in that 14th place position to try to get the move going here on that 41 car.
Look just a little bit further ahead of those drivers. You still have that 26 of Stephen Bird now finding himself on the outside of the top 10 and 11th. And these drivers seem to be kind of, getting, I guess you could say, slowed up a little bit by that number 26. And it's leading to some bigger runs here back behind them as now they're side by side here, Lamar and Kurgelak.
Steve Lamar wants that spot. You've seen that number 11 car here. That paint scheme basically all throughout the field is, he almost gets inside there of Nate Pollard. Had to back out. That SBR Motorsports paint scheme is on about 6 or 7 cars tonight, so if you're seeing double, that is why with that 11 car. Ooh, a little bit of a dive there for Kurgelak. Tried to get up the inside of Pollard, but it's not happening, and that will open himself back up to Steve Lamar, who's not able to get the spot. Back up front, looking at that 22 car of Joshua Sanchez. You see another one of those SBR schemes right in front of him. That's Alan Duggar.
You said double. We'll have to get a count on these SBR cars here at some point during the broadcast, but I think there might be 5 out there. I'll take a look here at some point. As we look here side by side, William Hewitt, the number 17, Joshua Sanchez in the 22. That's going to put Hewitt up to the 6th position in that 17. Gets Steinhoff getting around the number 22 of Sanchez as well in that 74.
Yeah, I did count. There is 5, and 3 of them are currently running in order with Gus Odero, Paul Danino, and Hugh Brown. So that is a spotter's worst nightmare between those 3 cars on the racetrack right now.
I like to see it though. A team really representing themselves here. Oh, loops off of the turn. That's the number 5. That's going to be Daniel Best having a big moment off of 4. Clean and green. Whew, take a deep breath. Get it back underneath there. See if the drivers behind them though. They're actually going to be smart and just check up as Daniel Best gets himself back underway with that number 5 black and gold machine.
Nearly slowed that thing down the pit road there. That was pretty close between those 2 cars. Here we go. Double file behind him. You've got Kurgelak continuing to fall back in that 41. Now been passed by William Lark in the 17. You gotta wonder if with the high track temp tonight, some of these drivers like Kurgelak are just trying to save tires here in the early portion of this run and hope that it kind of comes back to them later. Car in the wall, pretty good up front. Danny Carpenter might have taken some damage on that car, scraping the fence. Looks like he'll keep it straight. This is the battle behind him that you're watching right now. Steve Lamar is going at it in that 11 car with Nate Pollard in the 16. Lamar is going to have the advantage on the inside, and that is where you want to be. Working off down into 1. He'll get the spot, slide up in front of the 16.
Great give and take there by the number 16 of Nate Pollard. You can see him just kind of succeed the position, let the number 11 have it, because they know it's early on. We're only at lap 8. One thing about this league as well is these drivers, this is open setups. So some of these drivers may be set up more for that longer part of the run with these higher track temps, but almost 10 laps into this first stage.
Yeah, almost 10 laps into the first stage, but it is a very, very long race. We got plenty of time to go here, and once again, this 104 lapper. Stage break in the first stage will be on lap 26, so these drivers still got about 18 more here before we get to that stage break, and they come down for fuel and tires on this car. Back up front, all 9 laps so far have been led by that 19 car of Peralta Alvarez. Started on the outside, immediately stole the lead away from Brian Burchett, and has done a great job of holding it since. Burchett has slid back to 4th, whereas the cars who started on the outside in 2nd, 4th, and 6th have run wild through the field. Alvarez, Essery, and Brickley have gone 1, 2, 3.
As you can see right there on your screen, the Essery machine, the number 4, not too far back in the distance. You know, just a couple thousandths faster last lap, but maybe starting to maybe chip in that lead just a little bit here now. We're almost 10 laps into this run. Almost a tenth faster that last lap there for the Essery number 4.
Oh yeah, Essery's definitely starting to gain on him. Chris Chavez Essery has been one of the better new drivers into this series. Came in only about 4 or 5 weeks ago now, immediately took a win at Atlanta and has been consistently able to run up front in these races since. He's definitely making a bit of a late charge here, and if he can have some great runs in these next 5 races, he might just be able to sneak in right around the last car into the playoffs. It was a 5th at Chicago, a 4th for Sonoma at him. We know he can run the speedways. We know he can run the road courses. Can he master the 2.5-mile Indy?
A lot to digest. These corners, not very banked. You got to be careful when you're behind a car to not lose that front downforce, because your car will just be, there it goes, right there. I just said it, Essery into the wall.
Said it right there, you got to be careful. Looking at our biggest gainers here from the early portion of this race. Steve Lamar up 9, 21-12, and he's looking for another because he's door-to-door with Stephen Bird back there, and he'll get that spot. That'll make it 21-11 for the driver of that 11 car. Steve Lamar has that thing going for the short run. He is on the move. Switzer is +8. He's gone from 23 to 15 in the early stages of this race. And then Joshua Hyatt is also starting to slide up through the field. He's gone from 25 to 18th. Meanwhile, there's a couple cars that started further up to the front but have started to slide back. As mentioned, Stephen Bird was up in 3rd at the start of this race. He's gone back to 11th. And then you got Hugh Brown from 13th to 22nd, side by side with Nate Pollard in the 16 car. Up the inside of the 57 of Brian Wasserman, who's trying to hold that spot on the top. We'll see who gets the run. Pollard's going to have a little bit of help behind there from Joshua Switzer, but Switzer will back it off pretty hard into that corner. It won't matter, though, because Wasserman has a bad run, and he is going to get freight trained by not 1, not 2, but 3 cars. Pollard, Switzer, and Lark are all around Wasserman back to 16th.
One of the trickiest parts about Indianapolis is continuing to have good momentum on exits. These extremely long straightaways. If you have to get out of the gas just a little bit, trying to get off the exit turn. Oh, we got one almost around. I believe that's Pollard. Sliding sideways.
Oh, and that's going to be bad because that's going to be a black flag for unsafe pit road entry there. That can cost him a lap. That is going to be horrible if that doesn't get cleared. We're going to see a replay of what happened to that 16 car and Nate Pollard. He's got the 6 of Joshua Switzer behind him, and there was some contact, but there was not a lot of contact. You'll see it right there. That's all it took. Nate Pollard just lost it off of 4 and went skidding down through the pit entry. Actually, not sure if he got a black flag there. He is in the pits right now, which we'll see if it flags him. Doesn't look like it will. He'll take 4 tires on that car. Nate Pollard should be good to go, albeit he will come out a lap down after having to take that unscheduled pit stop here on lap 12.
Speaking of lap 12 here, Sky, watching these drivers, the handling on these cars definitely starting to become a factor as we watch the number 11 here, Steve Lamar, continue his charge from the back to the front, gets to the inside here of Danny Carpenter. This is the battle for the last stage point here for 10th spot. You can see had to get out of the gas just a little bit there for Steve Lamar. That makes Danny Carpenter will make that pass clear for now. We'll keep a look on that. But you've noticed some of these drivers having to get out of the gas, trying to get off the exits, and that can really hurt all the way down that straightaway. And man, this has been some great side-by-side action. These drivers getting sideways, having some great saves. And we're only 14 laps into this event.
Man, Steve Lamar is moving in the early portion of this race. Did not take a qualifying lap. That's why he went from 21st. But you wouldn't be able to tell because he's already got that thing rolling up into the top 10 right now. That driver making, I believe, his first start in the Door Racing League, and he's making quite an impact here in his first race as he is dicing up through the field. Back up for the battle for second. Billy Brickley has caught up to Chris Chavez Essery there in that 4 car. He's going to look a little down to the inside. He might actually get it here. What a dive from that 69 car to get side by side with the 4. That'll give him the inside down into 4. We'll see if he can get clear. Maybe, maybe not quite. Chavez Asari still there as we head to the yard of bricks.
Asari and Brickley side by side. No longer as Brickley, oh, there he goes. He's going to drive it in there once again, trying to make this pass happen. He's going to clear him here into turn 1 off the exit into that short chute. Gets a little loose, though. He's going to have that aero advantage there. As you saw, Esri learned early on that if you're really tight behind someone in front of you, that wall will sneak up on you with not having any front downforce on these cars on these very light banked 9.2 degree turns.
You would assume that a man named Billy Brickley would probably be very good at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, given that there are a lot of bricks here. So he's got that car up from P6 to P2, trying to be Brickley kissing the bricks after tonight's race, if he can get it done.
We'll keep an eye on his times and see how he does. As we look right here at 16th spot, the black and gold of Daniel Best. Right there in 15th, right behind him, is Joshua Hyatt. Another one of those SBR Motorsports cars, the 76 of Gus Otero, right there in 18th. Korchalak is kind of continuing to fall here all the way back to 19th. And Danino seems to be struggling as well. Running in that 20th spot, and just kind of seems to be really tight on exit right now.
Yeah, Korchalak just might not have the car he needs right now because that thing is going backwards in a hurry. I know he's teammates with Chris Chavez Essery up there in that 3rd spot. I wonder if they could share any sort of setup advice to help out that 41 car as he continues to just move backwards. He is not having a good time at the moment. Started up in 14th. He's now under threat, for, as mentioned, for Paul Danino, and that will be for P20 if Danino is able to get around him. It's not been the race that 41 would want, and you'd think if he was saving tires, it would start to come back to him by now, but it really has not done that yet, so we'll see if he's able to get that, if he's able to get some spots here in the later part of this run, but for now, that 1 is going to blow by him.
As we look at our top 3 lap times, they're all pretty close, 49, 44, 46, but look no further behind them. Alan Duggar running a 52.35. We'll see if he can close in on this top 3. We'll keep an eye on him.
We'll certainly try. We know that 15 car is always fast. Won last week at Dover, so he's going to be looking for 2 straight. He also won at Chicago and was 2nd at Sonoma. So it's been a while since we haven't seen Alan Duggar running up in the first 2 or 3 positions of a race. Try to get back up there pretty shortly. We got a battle trying to brew a little further back. Korchalak has caught right back up to the bumper there of Danino. Doesn't look like he has quite enough to get him, though. He'll stay behind that car for the time being. Chavez Essery is not letting Billy Brickley go for P2. He is drafting right back up to that 69 car. I don't think he's going to be close enough to take a run down into 3, but he is definitely getting there.
Well, another method here, if Essery might, I'm not sure if this is what he's doing, but if the 2 of you draft together, you might be able to catch the leader. You never know.
Drafting can play a role here. Caution is out.
Sanchez, I believe, the 22.
Yes, it was.
3 and 4.
He was running in 8th at the time. And this is going to be, he got loose out the corner, but this is going to involve Michael Reeves in this accident. We'll get a replay on this here on lap 19 for Joshua Sanchez. It's going to occur coming out of turn 3 onto the short chute. He's going to let go there, these cars of, I believe that's Bird right there, or excuse me, not Bird, that's Lamar right there trying to get around him. And then he goes down into 3, and he just gets loose on exit, kind of slides it up the track, makes contact with that car behind him of Michael Reeves, and ends up going around. Pretty decent hit for Reeves, too, into the outside wall.
Definitely some pretty hard hits. Definitely looks like a racing incident as well. We'll see if those cars can get them fixed up here now. We're earlier on in the race, get some time to get them fixed. We do have this large track, too, so they can spend some time on pit road if need be. I was just getting ready to point out how Michael Reeves was kind of sitting out there in P10, maybe getting ready to make a charge up to Danny Carpenter's back bumper before the end of the stage. But as we can see, 22 got loose and Reeves just kind of was trying to keep the momentum up, and that's just kind of what happened.
Yeah, not ideal for either of those two cars. Sanchez just kind of got loose there, and it really backfired. Reeves, an innocent bystander there, and the problems that 22 car just getting too much power down too quickly off the corner. Reeves is going to come into pit. We'll see if anyone tries to flip the stage here. I'm going to assume the answer is not really. We're going to see a couple cars come down, but nobody in the front half of the field. Reeves will make the move onto pit road. Lark, and then it's going to be Best, Hyatt, Otero, Danino, Kerjalak, Hegland, and Osborne. The reason I didn't think anyone was going to be immediately willing to flip the stage is because you're playing it very close on fuel to the end of stage 2. When everybody comes down to pit at the end of this stage, if these drivers stay out, they will be able to get back out front, but it will be close on fuel here for these guys to get to the end of stage 2 on this stop.
It will definitely be close, as we can see. A lot of these drivers that did come down pit road were a couple of those drivers we were mentioning further back in the pack that seem to be struggling with the exits. Some of those drivers getting some adjustments done. Drivers involved in that incident getting their damage taken care of. Kerjalak spending some time there on pit road as well. Might have some damage.
Yeah, he and Hegland and maybe the 22 of Sanchez there. Long pit stops for all three of them. We'll see who came out of the pits first. It was William Lark with a suspiciously short pit stop, so he did not take 4 tires. Let's find out what William Lark did on this pit stop to get out in only 10 seconds. Definitely filled it up with fuel. I wonder if it was a full tank of fuel and 2 tires. No, it was fuel only for William Lark in the 10. All right, interesting call for him. I believe everybody else further back took 4 tires on it because they all had about 14 to 16 second pit stops, which is the range you need for that.
I like the strategy, and it'll make any stops further on down the race a little bit shorter potentially. We'll see if he can maybe jump some positions having shorter pit stops with needing less fuel.
Some of those cars are going to be in there for a while. I think that's going to be a couple of those cars getting lapped even. Sanchez, Reeves, Hegland, all going to go a lap down. Well, Reeves might make it out. Reeves will make it out. Everybody else will go a lap down there in that group. See if the lights on the pace car go off this time. Yes, they will, and we will be going back green with 4 to go, I believe, in the stage here at Indy. We'll send the cars back green on lap 23.
We'll see how much give and take is going to be on this restart being late in the stage. Stage points on the line. We'll have to keep an eye and see who wants to get that jump, get a couple of spots, and see if they can make anything happen here later in the stage. We did mention Brickley wasn't second, but Estery wasn't too far back. We'll see how this plays out on this restart.
Yeah, we'll see. It's only a 4-lap run to the end of the stage, so we're not really going to see any holding back here. I think you're going to see everybody drive it all out to try to get the stage points that they want here coming down to the end of this race. Obviously, you get 10 stage points for finishing in first, 1 for finishing in 10th, so you've got a lot of incentive to go up there and get yourself some more positions, especially if you're one of the drivers like Joshua Switzer, who is just outside this top 10 here, or even if you're one of the drivers who's on a 4-tire strategy here to maybe try to move yourself up, like Daniel Best going from 15th. Maybe he could get around 5 cars. EOL given to Nate Pollard for this restart. I think it was something black flag related. He will come out on the lead lap. Actually, looks like everybody will make it out on the lead lap. Hegland and Sanchez just barely beat the pace car out. So we've still got 26 cars on the lead lap. And as the pace car pulls in this time out of 4 to go in the stage for Miguel Peralta Alvarez and Billy Brickley in the 19 and the 69. It's a long run down here into the restart zone, but we'll hit it and we'll go back green at the Brickyard.
Peralta Alvarez was trying to clear himself in front of that 69 of Brickley. That's going to have him check up a little bit there into turn one. But he will get there single file, try to get a run here down the backstretch with the stage winding down. See if Esri can help. Here they go, the IndyCar style stake, trying to break the draft. See if Brickley can capitalize, trying to get to his outside.
We will see. Ooh, near contact there between the 69 car and the 19, and that will really slow up Brickley. It'll put him back in the clutches of Chris Chavez-Essery there in that 4 car, who's trying to get his way back up into the top 2. You've got Alan Duggar back there as well, always a threat to win in his 15 car, trying to get the spot. Hey, we're 3 wide in the middle of the pack. Here comes Ryan Steinhoff with a send up the inside. It'll be a little further up the road. Steve Lamar getting the spot in that battle, but Steinhoff and Carpenter are going to go side by side for position back here, and we're side by side for the lead. Billy Brickley to the high side on Alvarez. Won't get it. He'll have to pull back in line.
Just right there for third spot, I got Duggar Esri. Duggar trying to get that done. He will. He's going to try and jump to the outside now for second. Can Duggar get it around the outside? Almost a 2-for-1 in the straightaway. Duggar really holding tight to the outside of Brickley, really tight. Man, this is some great door-to-door racing each and every week, and this is just for a stage end. Duggar still got that right rear quarter panel. He's going to drag him back in the side draft. Can Brickley side draft him back? He will not make that option. Just gets to his quarter panel. Yes, he does. But Duggar sends it in deep. Will it stick? Oh, really tight there into turn one.
We're running out of time here in the stage. Pit road has been closed as you've got Brickley there continuing to sit on the inside as Alan Duggar tries to get the crossover going. Brickley is loose, and that'll be what the 15 car needs. He's got to peek down to the inside as we look into 3. But huge push for the 4 of Chavez-Essery, and that'll get Brickley out in front of him. He cuts off that 15 car, and now Duggar is going to have to slow down. He'll lose that spot to Chavez-Essery as well. So Brickley, or no, yes, I am talking about Duggar. He's gone back to 4th from 2nd at the line last time. Brickley's recovered back to 2nd. Here comes Chavez-Essery giving a big shot to the rear bumper of that 69 car as we take the flag for lap 26 here at Indy. And everyone's crossed the start-finish line, so we'll see if the stage caution comes out here or next time around. It's right now Brickley, Chavez-Essery 2nd and 3rd, Duggar 4th, Peralta Alvarez looks to get a stage win here tonight at Indy.
Extremely exciting finish for just this top 4 spots. Throughout the field, though, there's still a lot of great racing action, as I believe this should be the stage break coming up here this time out of turn 4. Brickley trying to get a run and gets arrow tight on the exit. He's going to have to lift. That's going to give it to Miguel Peralta Alvarez.
And he will get that stage win here over Billy Brickley, Chris Chavez-Essery, Alan Duggar, and William Hewitt. Stage caution has flown. Rest of the top 10 will be Brian Burchett, Steve Lamar, Ryan Steinhoff, Danny Carpenter, and Joshua Switzer in 10th. We're going to send it down to a quick commercial break, and when we come back, we'll have stage 2. Stay tuned.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head to head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
And you said Adam was a big old disappointment, a big old disappointment. Said he don't take me to the party, don't take me to the party. All the drugs, the love, the flash. Is he dying? He's dying. You said, Adam, you ain't nothing but a criminal, nothing but a criminal with an ice cold stare. That's typical. Is it typical? And you think he must be hurt in the kitchen? Adam on the carpet. Adam, do you wanna hold me one more time? I'm dying. And you said Adam was a big old disappointment, a big old disappointment. Said he don't take me to the party, don't take me to the party. All the drugs, the love, the flash. Is he dying? He's dying. You said, Adam, you ain't nothing but a criminal, nothing but a criminal with an ice cold stare. That's typical. Is it typical?
We are back here from the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, and we have a lot of shakeups in pit road. So let's see who came out first. Daniel Best is going to be in first after this. He did not pit. He pit and stayed. Actually, I take that statement back. Daniel Best did pit. He pit fuel only, so he was only in the box for like 5 seconds. He did not put tires on that 5 car, and that's gotten him out in front. There's a couple cars on the same strategy. Kurjalak, Hyatt both came down for fuel only pit stops. From there, everybody's on 4, but it is a very shaken up everybody on 4. Nate Pollard stayed out. Paul Danino also staying out here, and then you've got Peralta Alvarez, Duggar, and Hewitt back from there.
A lot of shake-up here throughout the field, especially here at the front. A couple of these drivers that were struggling with their handling deep in traffic. Let's see if being up front helps their cars handle much better, and they can maybe have a better finish to stage number 2.
Okay, update. Sorry, my telemetry lied to me. It flipped Danino and Daniel Best. Daniel Best did stay out. Danino was the car who came down for fuel only. So Daniel Best and Nate Pollard both stayed out after pitting on lap 20. Paul Danino took a fuel only, along with Kurjalak and Hyatt back there. First car on 4 fresh tires this time will be 4th place Alvarez, and then on 4 tires behind him, he's got Hewitt, Duggar, Burchett, and Essery. So there's your top 10 cars. We are going to go green this time. The lights on the pace car are off, and we'll be back rolling on the lap 31. Next stage break comes on lap 52, so these drivers are going to have just over 20 laps to do battle here and figure out who gets that stage win. It's going to be maybe a game of fuel saving here for Best and Pollard to see if they're able to make this strategy stick out front. Danino has the fuel, but for him, it's going to be a little bit of a strategy of tire saving, so we will see. Pace car will duck off into the pit lane, and we're going to slowly roll it back down into the restart zone. Best jumps immediately, and we're green at Indy.
Outside row there with Nate Pollard. Nate Pollard struggled to get going on that restart. Second place car usually does struggle on restarts. Just trying not to speed and iRacing speed there. I don't know if it's on here tonight, but sometimes if you go just a little too fast, you got to be careful not to get that black flag. And sometimes you're at a little bit of a disadvantage. Pollard falls back to fourth as he started second there. Brickley, one of those drivers that was up in the front, trying to get around inside the top 10 again.
He is trying to get back into the top 10. We'll see if he can make those moves up through the field here in that 69 car. Do what he needs to do to get himself up there. Tight racing all the way around the field as drivers try to battle their way back up through positions. We're side by side for P7 back here, P8 back here. You've got Brian Burchett and Chris Chavez Essery. Big dive for Essery up the inside of that car. You see it right here. He'll get clear off the corner, but he might not want to get clear because he's got Peralta Alvarez right in front of him, and you know that 4 car wants the spot. He has to get way checked up there. That'll cost him about a couple tenths as a big hit to the wall for Joshua Hyatt.
Essery did a good job there, though, not making any contact with the walls. We saw Hyatt having some issues. Essery knew he was trying to work really hard to get around that Alvarez machine because he knows that's going to be the battle for the lead here later on in this stage. With those drivers just taking 4 tires, I think the tires will have the advantage.
First car on 4 fresh tires is trying to get himself up to second. That's Alan Duggar in the 15 car, moving his way up through this field. But he's not really passing yet. He gives a big shove down to Paul Danino in the corner. Ran the fastest lap of the race. He had the look to the inside, but he just didn't take the shot at it. And that's why he's still there in third. Chose to just push Danino into the corner instead. These are teammates. They have the same SBR paint scheme here, so maybe that making a difference in his decisions.
There's a right on board here in the 5th position with Kerjalak. Trying to get to the inside of Pollard. Just trying to sneak his car into his left rear area. Oh man, extremely tight. Pollard's going to close the door. Kerjalak has to get out of the gas. That's going to hurt it down the straightaway here. We're going to be 3 wide, almost 3 wide there for that position.
Ooh, we're dooring each other down there as well there. Chavez Essery holds that spot. He takes 6th position over Peralta Alvarez, who dominated the first stage of this race, but on 4 fresh tires doesn't seem to have the same speed in dirty air in that 19 car. The 4's gotten around him, and he's still stuck behind Pollard and Kerjalak, who are on fuel-only strategies here, or not pitting at all strategies here. You'd think the 4 tires would be faster, but those cars are still running very good lap times, in part because the track temp has dropped 12 degrees since the start of the race.
Great observation there, Sky. Yes, the track temperature coming way down. It should make for some higher speeds with more grip.
Will certainly make for higher speeds. You've seen a lot of the fastest lap times of the race get set here in just the last few laps from drivers ripping it on this lowered track temperature. And that is
we got a yellow.
Oh, caution. Yeah,
Burchett.
further back, Burchett is around. Stopped in the middle of the track there is the 3 car of Brian Burchett. And he was having a great day up until then.
We'll have to see if there's any oh, yeah, he just backed out. There must have been contact with the ball of some sort and has some pretty significant damage. Let's take a look at this Maconi Entertainment replay.
We will see what happened to that 3 car of Brian Burchett working off the corner here. This is going to be...
It was inside, it looks like.
Yeah, this is going to be down the short chute, I believe. Here he's got Steve Lamar behind him, and that is going to be the problem because Lamar is going to get into him. And there he goes.
For Lamar, too.
Yeah, damage for Lamar for sure. What happened there, Lamar tapped him on corner entry. That got him loose. That sent him up the road. After Lamar got him loose, he tried to make the pass high, but the 3-car slid up the track, hit Lamar again, and wrecked the two of them.
The field's getting caught up with the pace car. It does look like there's some pretty significant right front damage there.
For both cars, there's going to be some pretty good damage after that one. So they're going to have to get those cars fixed, and it'll likely take a decent bit of time for both ththose drivers. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if that's the end of Burchett's night, because that was a very, very heavy hit for the driver of that 3-car. Let's see who we got available for an interview. I'm gonna figure out who's the highest placing car that we've got a copy on. I think we might have Daniel Best, so give us about a couple seconds here. We'll see if we can get Daniel Best queued up on the radios, and we'll bring him up into the booth here. Hey Daniel, how you doing?
I'm all right. How are you?
Leading this race right now on pit strategy. What was the idea behind that strategy?
Well, I got behind. I didn't get to qualify, so the only choice I had was to jump the field with pit strategy, and hopefully I can save enough fuel here to get back on strategy with the other guys.
Yeah, are you going to need some cautions to save fuel, or do you think you can get it done under green?
I think I got it here with this caution. I'm pretty sure I've got enough now to make it to the next stage. So we'll just see what happens.
All right, what's your plans to hold them off?
Go faster than them.
Hey, that's all you really need. Thanks for coming up and joining us in the booth, Daniel. I'll send you back there.
All right, buddy. Thanks.
That was Daniel Best, currently your race leader right now, sitting up there in that first position after starting out back in 24th. Playing some pit strategy to try to move himself up the field. There are some pit stops here. Mostly damaged cars. It's Joshua Sanchez, Thomas Hegland, Steve Lamar, Joshua Switzer, Tommy Osborne all into the pits, along with William Lark, who's the only driver not fixing damage. He just came down for a 4-tire and fuel play behind the wheel of that 10 machine.
As you can see, right behind Daniel Best is Alan Duggar. We'll see what he can do on this restart and that outside line. We've noted it's been pretty difficult. We'll see what Alan Duggar can do out there, especially with his teammates starting on the inside of that second row.
I believe the lights on the pace car will be going off next time around. Let's see if we can find somebody else up here that is potentially available for an interview. I'm going down the field here. We've got a list of about 10 drivers who are cool for it, so I'm going to find one that is on that list. I think we'll call up try William Hewitt here in just a second. We'll get him up into the booth in the 17 car back here. Hey William, you're up in the broadcast booth. How you doing?
Not bad. How are you doing, Scott?
Pretty good, pretty good. So about halfway through this stage now. What's your strategy to get back up through the field?
Really just try to measure up where the fuel stop comes in. I mean, we're going to what, 54 this track or this time around. So getting to that really is necessary. I'd like to try and flip the field if we see another caution, just to keep up front. But who knows? I know there's a lot of bad stuff happening in the back of the pack right now.
And looking ahead to stage 3, we're going to have that 50-lap run there, so we're going to get a pit stop in the middle of that. Are you planning to maybe run it short, run it long? What are you thinking?
I'm pretty good at saving tires here, so surprisingly. So short pitting, running it short might be the way to go for that. But really we're just trying to see what the field does and what the leaders do, and try to do something they're not. So see how it goes.
All right, thanks so much for joining us down here, William. We'll get you sent back up to your team.
Thanks, guy.
That was William Hewitt, as mentioned, currently running 9th in this race. And we have a little bit of time left here before we go green. We're going to slowly pace our way down the straightaway before we get ready to go. And it'll be Daniel Best up front, still running that tire saving strategy. You heard from him earlier. So he's got that car working, and thinks he's got enough fuel to make it to the end of the stage. You've got Alan Duggar up there going from second on the outside, teammates with that 5 car of Daniel Best. So we'll see how this shakes out. I believe actually all 3 of these drivers up in the top 3, Best, Duggar, and Danino, are teammates with SBR. So you've got a little bit more incentive to work together there and try to keep your drivers who are saving gas out front. Pace car pulls in. It's Best and it's Duggar. And as we hit the restart zone, Best jumps immediately, and it's another great launch for him.
Best with a great restart there. Duggar right there behind him, though, not too far away. As always, we got Pollard getting sideways and around.
Yeah, he is going to free fall. Oh, that was a huge hit. That is going to be a caution. That was a monster hit for the 16 and the 11 car. And if Steve Lamar's day was not in trouble already, it definitely is now after that one. Meatball flag for the 16. Huge hit. You see it here. The 16 of Pollard is going to go around, coming out of turn 1. He just loses it on his own, slides down the track. He's off the track, which is how it stays green, but then he comes back up into that 11 car, and it's a nasty hit for him and Thomas Hegland. Both those cars, major damage being taken.
Insult to injury there for Steve Lamar, who went a lap down trying to get damage repair from that first wreck that we just had. So, yeah, it's going to really hurt his chances at a potential win and comeback.
We'll see here. I think Lamar got a little bit unlucky too, because there's a slight amount of netcode when this happened. We'll see it. Yeah. Little close there with the netcode, but Steve Lamar, either way, is going to have a very damaged race car. And he's already been in 1 wreck, and that is going to be a little bit more than maybe he can fix. He is now a lap down. Oh, and he's off into the grass again in real time. He's just hit the wall. And he's towed it back to the pits in real time, Steve Lamar. So he was basically, okay, we might see if we can get a replay on this, but he was crab walking his way back into the pits and just spun on his own and then got it back going, turned it back around, and then drove straight into the inside wall. So this is him hitting the inside wall under caution with an already broken race car, and he has to take a tow back. And that if the first one and the second one weren't the end of his days, that will be.
Yeah, that is unfortunate. That was one of those drivers that started in the back when was working his way through the field.
And he had gained a ton of positions, and that is probably not how he envisioned it ending today after going about plus 14 just in that first stage.
Checking out YouTube chat, can see SBR and Old Man Nesta hanging out and talking with each other. Great to have everybody in the YouTube chat hanging out with us tonight. Always a pleasure to have everybody involved, interact with our broadcast. Appreciate everybody with the support here tonight on Maconi Entertainment.
Yeah, the YouTube chat really brings kind of the sun to these races, and I mean that very literally because the sun is now out most of the way around Indianapolis here. The clouds starting to go away, the sun coming out, the track starting to heat up, which is going to be very interesting here as we head down to the end of this race. We have our first 2 DNFs tonight. Nate Pollard and Steve Lamar have both DNF'd as a result of their hits under that caution. And that will be the end of both of those 2. They will finish. Looks like Lamar 26th, Pollard 25th tonight.
And it looks like in the YouTube chat, SBR Motorsports is our points leader and multi-time winner Trevor Baxter hanging out with us tonight that could not make the race tonight.
So we are going to go back green here before too long, still pacing our way around at Indy. After a very green stage 1, it's been a bit of a caution-filled stage 2. We'll take one more look at our points coming in to tonight. Bradley Knopsnyder, Joshua Sanchez is the cut battle. Knopsnyder currently running 14th, Sanchez currently running 15th, so those two are basically holding position. Wasserman is also up in there, and oh hey, he's running 13th. So 13th, 14th, and 15th are 15th, 16th, and 17th in points in order, but they've really got to watch out for Alan Duggar, sitting in 19th, 33 points out, because he's having a great race. He's the first car on 4 tires, and he is sitting in P2. William Hewitt, also 52 points back, currently sits 20th in tonight's race, and he will look to drag himself a little bit more up the field here with about 10 laps to go in stage 2.
I must say, Sky, watching that points battle here towards the end of the regular season has really tightened up, and it's going to be a tight finish here tonight at that line. We'll have to see what it looks like next week as we head to Iowa.
Stage caution here will be on lap 52, so these drivers are going to be racing about 10 or so laps here down to the end of the stage. And currently, the drivers who would be in position to get those stage points are Daniel Best, after a great strategy of flipping the stage. Same with Paul Danino and Michael Kurgelak. They're sitting up there first, third, and fifth. 3 cars on the outside from that strategy. On the outside, it's 2 cars who took 4 tires. Alan Duggar, Chris Chavez Essery, second and fourth. Back from there, Miguel Peralta Alvarez goes from 6th. Ryan Steinhoff, 7th. Danny Carpenter, 8th. Joshua Hyatt, 9th. Gus Otero, 10th. Those are the guys trying to get your stage points here tonight. Stephen Bird in 11th. Brian Wasserman in 12th. Back there as well. We'll look to move their way up into a stage point paying position here. And even further back from there, I mean, Knopsnyder, Sanchez, you know those are guys who want to get some points to help their situation on the cut line, and they're starting just outside of the top 10 with a chance to move back up into it as we get to the end of this race. Pace car will pull in. It'll be Best and Duggar once again. Let's see if we can get some more green flag racing, because the green flag is back out.
SBR 1, 2, 3 right now, side by side for second. Danino is going to check up and let the 15 of Duggar have that so they don't get stuck side by side. Side by side right now for fourth between Essery and Kurgelak. Kurgelak, oh, big sideways there off of turn 2.
He is a little bit loose. Essery is going to pull it down. We're doing the snake game down the front straightaway. You see that a bit more in IndyCar with the Indy 500, but with these long front and back straightaways, it works just as well in NASCAR. Battle here for fourth as Essery and Alvarez continue to go at it, and you've got Kurgelak right behind him in P6 trying to find his way through this battle. Duggar continues to push Best around. The teammates working together to get some speed.
Working together to get some speed and finish this stage 1, 2. As it looks like Danino, oh, really tight off into the short chute of turn 1. That's going to open up the door, I believe, for Essery and Kurgelak, or excuse me, Essery and Alvarez. But Danino is having the one trouble there. There we go. Yeah, I got it.
Danino took that fuel-only stop at the stage break, so he's on tires that are about 24 laps old now. That is in comparison to the about 16 or 17 lap old tires that all of these drivers like the 4 and the 19 are running on. Danino doing a good job to stay in front of Alvarez for now, but that 19, winner of stage 1, leader of every lap in stage 1, is fast, and I wouldn't be surprised if he's able to claw himself back up here pretty shortly. We're gonna maybe a battle for the lead. Duggar is finally trying to get it away from Best, who scrapes the wall down into turn 1. But he doesn't have it yet. New fastest lap, Alan Duggar, and what surprises me most is that even on older tires, Daniel Best's fastest lap, Daniel Best also ran his fastest lap of the race right there, and it was barely slower than Duggar's. The tracks have started to go back up a little bit here. The clouds have come back out, so that brief bit of sunshine has been stopped, but we're sitting at 97 degrees on the track temp. It continues to kind of yo-yo between about 90 and 100 here tonight.
And you got to remember, this track is so big that one part of the track can be shaded, and the next part of the track can have blazing hot sun. So you can have all the confidence in the one corner, and the next corner it's like an ice skating rink. And it can happen very quickly with this blacktop here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. As we look at up front though, Daniel Best just ran the fastest lap of the race.
Daniel Best, good speed for him on those older tires. He's really made them last here in the later stages of this race. I think similar to what you'd see in IndyCar, dirty air is affecting a lot of these cars behind them too and are kind of hurting their ability to make great lap times. You're seeing fastest laps or near fastest laps come out of everybody here, showing that tire wear really does not appear to be too important so far in this race, especially with the diminished track temperature. We will see if the tire wear becomes maybe a little more important as we go on, or if it's going to stay like this, and if you can continue to make some good time on older tires.
Daniel Best out front really showing you how that clean air can really help out keeping that lead. As Essery goes up there and throws another fast lap on the board.
Kind of like a rotating cycle here between these cars running in the top three and stealing fastest lap away. Look at this battle back here. Danino is under threat. That's Steinhoff and Kerjelak right behind him, and he's trying to block both lanes at once. I don't think that's really going to work for him, but it does for now. He'll hold that spot in the turn one. It'll be Steinhoff getting up to the inside of him down the short chute as Danny Carpenter tries to get himself a little more in this battle. He'll go side by side with Kerjelak. Steinhoff near contact, has to back out. Danino holds fifth for now.
Danino driving extremely hard, trying to hold on to those stage points as the laps are winding down. Danny Carpenter now getting to the inside of Kerjelak. Can't make it happen. Right away, they're going to be side by side on the exit to the short chute. Oh, really tight. Danny Carpenter still trying to get to that inside and struggling on the exits, but doing a really good job of not getting into the side of that Kerjelak machine.
There's some great racing back here as we head down to the end of the stage. As your top two, Duggar and Best, are starting to pull away a little bit from these guys. It is all on the line for stage points back here with Steinhoff and Danino and Sanchez all going at it for these positions. And Carpenter all going at it for these positions. Ooh, a little bit of a wiggle there out of Carpenter in the 28 car. He'll drop to the inside. We'll see. Man, Lark is really trying to get him there on that top line, but he hasn't been able to do it yet. Sanchez now into the pit lane as Lark, oh, he's got it for P9.
And here comes Hugh Brown. Another one of those SBR machines. But not on our radar yet tonight. He is on the 11th position, trying to grab a stage point here late in the race. Excuse me.
Watching that 11th place car here, Hugh Brown, as you mentioned, trying to get that stage point. He's only got about 3.5 more laps to do it here at Indy as laps continue to run down in our 104 lap race. Stage 2 will be at lap 52, and that is halfway tonight, so you've got to stay on it the whole time if you want to get the win. Top two are starting to pull away some more, but Chavez Essery is holding pace. While Alvarez and Steinhoff continue to fall back, Essery is putting down some wicked lap times, and he is gaining on these two cars. We'll see if he can find his way up to P2 or even P1 by the stage end. He is coming.
We got Wasserman and Brickley side by side back here for 13th and 14th. Brickley trying to make that pass happen though. He was one of those drivers that was running up there in the top three. Now finds himself here and now 14th as he makes that pass happen. Tries to drive now to the number 6 of Joshua Switzer. Switzer running there in that 13th position.
Still a hornet's nest back here, including for the last transfer spot. That is William Lark, who is currently in 10th and who is currently side by side with Danny Carpenter for P9. Bit of a hit to the wall there for Carpenter off the corner, but he holds that spot. Back ahead of him, Kerjelak and Otero are going to make some contact off the corner, but they both keep it straight for 7th and 8th. We're side by side, 7th through 10th, the final playoff points on the line.
William Lark right there on the back bumper of Kerjalak. Does a good job getting out of the gas. Just time. Gets around Danny Carpenter. He'll have an easy exit there. See if he can gain some momentum to grab another spot around Gus Oterio's William Lark. Right there on the number 10 machine. The red, white, and blue Exalta. Now gets to the outside of the 41 of Kerjalak.
Here comes Hugh Brown looking for that final stage point there. He is side by side with Carpenter for P10, but he's not able to hold the spot, and Hugh Brown might have to re-rack. Oh, big hit to the wall, we're wrecking behind him. That is Joshua Switzer spinning, caution. And that'll be the stage. Oh,
man.
ARCA brakes from Bradley Knopsnyder and almost from Ronald Judd.
Oops, and that'll end the stage as well.
That will end the stage. Joshua Switzer with a massive hit here. Hyatt is just going to get into the wall off the corner. He'll bounce it down into Switzer. Goes for a big ride, hits the grass, slides it back up. The caution is out already at this point. And there comes Knopsnyder. And there comes Ronald Judd, too. Oh.
That was close. A lot to digest here. We're going to see what's going to happen on this stage break. Man, it's hard to see the car coming up the track that quick or what, but fortunate there. Just kind of came up in the middle of the track. He's right on board here. I believe this is with Judd.
Yeah, we will see here what happened from Judd's point of view. Yeah, he just kind of goes in there at speed. Played a little bit of a gamble there. It's Indy, not Vegas, but hey, if you wanna
roll the dice. Speaking of rolling the dice, what is gonna happen here on this stage break when we come down pit road?
The stage winner is gonna be Daniel Best with a perfect strategy call there, rolling the dice to perfection behind the wheel of that 5 car. And then it'll be Alan Duggar, Chris Chavez-Essery, Miguel Peralta Alvarez, Ryan Steinhoff, Paul Danino, Gus Otero, William Lark, Danny Carpenter, and Michael Kerjalak back from there. Pit stops are going to happen for absolutely everybody here. I don't think you're going to see any fancy strategy being played. Everybody wants tires. I take my statement back. Hugh Brown and Billy Brickley are going to go for the Hail Mary. They pit 12 laps ago, and they'll see if they can make it here with this stop. Without stopping.
I believe we'll need one more pit stop before...
We will. For everybody's going to need one more. I think the question there for Brown and Brickley is if it goes green, would they need 2 more instead of 1 more? Because they've already used 13 laps worth of fuel. Coming out of the pits here, we will see who gets out first. Oh, there goes Alvarez. Oh, we're door to door. I have absolutely no idea. iRacing gives it to Daniel Best. No, it doesn't. He's letting Alan Duggar by. iRacing gives it to Alan Duggar over Daniel Best by a nose. And then it's Peralta Alvarez, Chavez Essery, Steinhoff, Danino, Lark, and Carpenter.
Door to door on the track to door to door on pit road.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't get any closer than that. iRacing gave it to Alan Duggar in the 15 there, but like, man, it does not get any closer than that. Oh, he just slows up. Let's see. 15, gassing it up hard. He's really risking a speeding penalty there to get that thing out on time. I think he did just beat him. We're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll come back for the start of Stage 3. Stay tuned.
When you want to be the best, you can't settle for the rest. For anything on iRacing, there's just one name you need, Maconi.
With the launch of Maconi Entertainment and Maconi Competizone alongside Maconi Setup Shop, we now provide the best of the best in setups, paint schemes, coaching, broadcasting, and event organization.
With cars across all 4 license classes, we have what you need to hit the track with confidence. Grab a subscription and save money while going fast at MaconiSetupShop.com/subscriptions.
And remember, at Maconi Setup Shop, there are setups, but your victories.
We are back here from the Door Racing League at Indianapolis, and we're about ready to go green here to begin stage 3. See you there, Sky Shrek, Jeremy Briggs up in the booth. DJ Lyon is producing here tonight. Pace car is off. Green flag is back out for stage 3.
Oh, door to door there for second place between the 15 of Duggar and the 16 of Brickley. Brickley sideways off of the short shoe. Turn 1.
Oh,
what a wrecking.
Daniel Best, big hit for him. Big hit for Danino. Oh, we got a huge one. That's about 5 or 6 cars. We're still wrecking. Brian Burchett around. Kurjalak. William Lark. I feel like at a certain point it's easier to name who isn't involved. Hugh Brown made it out pretty good. Looks like Duggar, Alvarez, Steinhoff, Wasserman, Hewitt, Carpenter, Bird. That might be it. Just those 8.
Whew.
This is going to start at the... Yeah, this is going to start at the very front of the field with Daniel Best, and it is going to just kind of progress from there. What a drive through. Oh, big hits to the wall for the 10. It looked like he was going to get through. And you see everybody else just kind of getting involved there at the end.
A lot of heavy contact. For
a lot of contact.
A lot of.
Doesn't get more contact than that, really. Woo boy, that is a big one. We're going to get one more look at this. Daniel Best is the car who initially went around. It was looking so good for me. Played a great strategy call to get up front. And just kind of all goes bad after Brickley gets loose, hits the wall, and it just kind of piles up from there. Best probably made it out with some of the least damage in this field. I mean, we saw some cars like Burchett and Brickley take some pretty major hits. Best, not so much.
We'll see how long he hangs out on pit road. A lot of these drivers, a lot of drivers will be coming down pit road to get that damage fixed as man, they happen at the front, and they happen in these short shoot turns, and everybody's just trying to carry so much momentum, it's so hard to stop.
Yeah, I take it with this pit stop here, Billy Brickley will not be kissing the bricks tonight. Oh! Car around, Paul Danino's just wrecked entering the pit lane. Hard. Under caution.
Oh, huh. Yeah. He definitely did that.
That is a weird one. That car is very badly damaged now after going door first into the pit wall.
Whoops.
If it wasn't badly damaged already on that one car, this is just kind of a brake issue. Like he just locks up the brakes trying to get it into the pits under caution. Comes in. He's coming in a little hot for a yellow and just, yeah, slams right in there.
Looks like he was trying to maybe catch up to the field, and pit lane came up a little bit quicker than anybody was expecting, I guess.
He just locked it up there, going down into the corner, and I mean that's a pretty big hit, because that's like 70 to 0 in about 0 seconds there. That's one that's going to definitely do a number on your race car. Let's see if we can find someone to interview here in just a second. Let's look down the list. How about Brian Wasserman? I don't think he was involved in that one. He's running P7. Give me just a second here, and we'll get Wasserman down to talk with us here. Just want to make sure he didn't get involved in that one. No, he made it through just fine. Awesome. We're free to interview him.
Always got to check.
You got to check. I don't want to call someone into the booth immediately after they've totaled their car.
Absolutely.
Hey, Brian, you're up in the broadcast booth. How's it going?
Hey, good, man. How about you guys?
Pretty good. We saw on that crash there, you barely snuffed through. What was going through your head?
Yeah, that was a tight squeeze. Super tight. I'm just trying to avoid all the melee. That's really what I've been trying to do the whole night. Just keep it clean and keep the wheels and the fenders on it. This is not one of my favorite tracks, so it's a bit of a challenge for me.
And you made it through there. You're running P6 right now. What's your plan of attack here for the rest of the race?
Man, I'm just going to try and keep the car as clean as I can and try not to abuse the tires, especially now with no more stage brakes. So I just got to, try and maintain smooth cornering and not try to chew up that front right. So I've got something with the car, something left of the car at the end of the run. Should be interesting, especially if we can keep it green. I'd be curious to see how well I do up here in this lead pack. So, but we'll see. It's been interesting so far.
I do want to know real quick, how are you feeling about the tire fall off tonight? Because I feel like we haven't seen too much out of these cars. Will that kind of affect your strategy here for the rest of the race?
You know, the tire fall off isn't too bad. In what I've found is that if you overdrive entry early in your run, it really hurts you late in the run. So that's what I'm trying to avoid, which is really easy to do in the draft. So I'm trying to back them off a bit and save those front rights.
All right, thanks so much for talking with us. We'll get you back to your team. Good luck.
I appreciate it. Have a good night.
All right, that is Brian Wasserman. He will roll from 6th on this restart. Up front here, it'll be staying out on that last caution and pretty much ending up dodging the mess because of it. It's the 7 car of Hugh Brown, the only car who has not pit in the last 5 laps. He'll be put on the front row with Alan Duggar, but same situation with Daniel Best. These two are teammates. Do not be surprised if Duggar tries to help Hugh Brown stay out in front of the field. Pace car pulls down and the 2 SBR cars will work down into the restart zone. Duggar and Brown, and we're green here at Indy.
Once again, leader having a good restart there. We're going to be side by side here. The 74 on the outside there of Miguel Peralta Alvarez, and that number 19 machine trying to find himself back into 3rd. One of those drivers we saw up at the front early on leading laps.
And those 2 SBR cars are absolutely in a different stratosphere right now. They've already pulled out a half-second lead over Alvarez. Great jump for both of those front row runners on this restart. But like you said, Alvarez, winner, dominant car in the first stage, is catching up, and a big wiggle out of the 74 Ryan Steinhoff is going to cost him not just 4th, but maybe 5th as well. Here's Wasserman has the run on the outside. We'll see if Hewitt can get through too.
That was a pretty monster save there by that number 74 machine of Steinhoff.
Pretty major to keep himself in the race after that one. Ooh, side by side for the lead here. Here comes Duggar. Not gonna push Brown like he did Best. Alan Duggar wants the lead for himself. He's going to go out and take it. Our winner in 2 of the last 3 races, including last week at Dover, is back out front here at Indy, and with 44 to go, he'll look to bring it home.
And a reminder, it's not winning you're in. It's all based on points. Duggar, one of those drivers on the outside looking in, but with 3 wins, looking pretty sporty and trying to grab some more.
Yeah, he's on the outside looking in because he hasn't run too many races this season, but he's been much more consistent in attendance in the second half of the calendar. And that is on a related note where most of his wins have come from. I believe he has 3 on the season. This could make it number 4 for Alan Duggar if he's able to kiss the bricks at Indy. We're side by side for second as well as Hugh Brown has started to slide. Peralta Alvarez has the inside on that 7 car. Oh, he's a little tight off the corner. Has to let off the gas, and that'll let Hugh Brown get right back to the outside. He just doesn't have the speed in that 7 car. Despite having the inside and initially having the worst run off, Alvarez does a great job to stay side by side, and he'll door that 7 up the track. Using up Hugh Brown is the 19 car, and he will be clear to P2.
I think Hugh Brown had enough of that. Once he got into the door of him and said, all right, fine, you can have this spot. Danny Carpenter and then number 28 there in 4th spot. Looking at that battle of the Great View. Where we here got that number 76 of Gus Otero under pressure as Stephen Bird trying to get around him, as Essery gets to the inside of him as well. We got cars everywhere right now.
The big loose moment there. Good job to hold on to that thing as the 76 and the 4 continue to go side by side. Chavez Essery is used to being up in the top 5 tonight. He wants to get himself back up there. Gus Otero is just one of a few cars that he needs to pass in order to make that happen, as he currently runs P8 if he can get this move done. Looks like he can. Is he clear? Yes. Chavez Essery to 8th, as it is now a 1-second lead for Alan Duggar up front.
Daniel Bestrom went from end of the line to 10th spot. Is right on board here with Danny Carpenter in the 4th spot, giving the pressure all over the back bumper of Hugh Brown. He gets tight, and then William Hewitt will get to his inside in the number 11.
And it can be difficult off these corners. They're unlike anything else that you run here in the NASCAR, so you've got to be very careful with these high-speed 90-degree left-handers. It can be so easy to get tight and dirty air. It can so easy to get loose if you get on the throttle too early, so you've got to be careful. We've seen a couple cars get caught out already, particularly on the loose side.
One of the drivers that we actually just spoke to, Brian Wasserman, right now is our fastest lap. We'll see if it holds up for this lap, but speed's starting to pick up on the track.
Speeds are starting to pick up as the clouds have continued to settle over this racetrack, and the track temp has dropped even further. 90 degrees, the lowest it's been all race, which is helping these lap times climb. We had that very brief bit of sunshine that warmed the track back up again, but as it has stayed cloudy, the temps have started to go back down. Having some technical issues right now, so we're going to do this a little bit radio style here for the next 1 or 2 laps as we work to get that video feed back to you. Wasserman is running 6th. Ryan Steinhoff is in 7th. Chavez Essery is in 8th. He's taking a peek to the inside of that 74 car of Steinhoff for P7. Not able to get it. He'll have to pull back in line, and they'll enter turn 1. Steinhoff stays behind Chavez, or stays ahead of Chavez Essery, excuse me. That 4 car, though, continues to try to move himself back up into the top 5. He's taking another peek down to the inside through turn 2. Much lower entry, or much lower exit than Steinhoff there. And they will stay one after the other. But that 8 car, or that 4 car, continues to try to get himself out of 8th.
Yeah, the 4 car did a great job of Essery, did a good job of keeping his nose in that clean air. You can see the 74 of Steinhoff struggling a little bit on exit. So a 4 car of Essery trying to just get those runs, get those back bumper. He's going to have a great run. He's going to get to the inside. We're side by side down the front stretch. The 74 of Steinhoff with a little bit of slip up The 4 of Essery now to his inside. They're now even down the front straightaway. Steinhoff backs off just a little bit. Essery, almost contact with Essery. He gets through it. Steinhoff gets contact then from Gus Otero. Gus Otero had to get out of it. This is all for 7th and 8th and 9th on the track.
Yep, Gus Otero back in that 9th spot, and now he's got Daniel Best back in 10th, lurking on that bumper. About halfway down the back straightaway, Best is going to take a peek to the inside, but he really needs that draft from Otero because he's got a little bit of damage on that car. He has to peel back in, and they go single file into 3. A big lunge from Otero brought him quite a bit closer to Steinhoff, who gets loose out of 3. And they will get close into 4, but Steinhoff will hold that lead. Otero continues to try to get a run going for that 8th position, and it looks like he might have it down the front straightaway across the line of bricks. Otero is door-to-door with Ryan Steinhoff. Steinhoff has it by about half a nose, but Otero takes a big lunge down into 1. They stay side by side. Otero doesn't have the run out, and he will lose the position down into 2. But he will immediately get back on it as the 74 of Steinhoff is a little bit tight out of 2, and Otero continues to fight hard down the back straightaway. And now we got Daniel Best trying to take this to the inside of Otero, but he can't make it. Ultimately, we stay single file. Steinhoff, Otero, Best, 8, 9, and 10.
And back up front, we get Alan Duggar with 9/10 of a lead over Miguel Perota Alvarez there in second. Hugh Brown doing a good job, 3.1 seconds back from our driver or leader in third. William Hunett is in 4th position. He is 3.3 back. Danny Carpenter is in 5th. He is 3.6 back. Wasserman right there having a decent run right now. He's 4 seconds back. And then we get back to that 7th, 8th, and 9th battle. Essery, Steinhoff, Otero, and Best round out your top 10. They are just about 5 seconds off the leader.
Here comes Chavez Essery. He's looking up to the inside of Brian Wasserman for P6 at the current moment. He doesn't have quite what he needs in order to get that spot, and Wasserman will hold on. Looks like we've got the video back from Yalso. Technical difficulties seem to be mostly resolved for the time being. We'll work on getting that ticker up, but we should be back full power here in just a second. Steinhoff with a bit of a block on Otero. A couple good battles all over the racetrack there, but Gus Otero is really trying to make this move for 8th.
Gus Otero not giving up on the back bumper of Steinhoff. Essery right there in that number 4 car, as we mentioned, there in the 7th spot, trying to close in there on Wasserman. Wasserman having some decent laps here, just in front of them. There you got William Hewlett now trying to get to the inside of Hugh Brown. Doesn't get there just yet.
No, not able to get there. That would be the move for 3rd. Here comes Otero. Big lunge to the inside of the 74, but he is cut off, and now he's loose. And he's going to lose 2 spots here because Best is going to get around him on the outside. Kurjalak is going to try to get the spot as well. Otero not going to be happy with Steinhoff there for maybe chopping his nose off into the corner. And if that 76 can get back up to him, maybe a little bit of drama between those 2 cars. Hey, Stephen Bird's caught up to this fight as these guys do battle. 12th place is joining the fray.
Stephen Bird, one of those drivers that was struggling early on, but through attrition, finds himself right now in the 12th position, almost knocking on the door of a top 10 as the laps are winding down.
They got 34 to go here, only about a third of this race left. And we are running out of time for some of these guys back here to make moves up to the front. The gap for first is rapidly opened up. Duggar 1 second ahead of Alvarez, who's 3 seconds ahead of Hugh Brown. Those cars have a lot of speed right now, and they are showing it at the present moment. It is 31 laps on fuel for Hugh Brown, which feels like we are about at the limit. He might come down next lap if he has enough to go around, because if he comes down next lap, he will be splitting this stage perfectly in 2. He will have 32 left into the end of the race, and he will have 32 on the fuel. It's not going to be long before we see Hugh Brown in, because that car is running out of gas.
Yes, well, and we'll have to see what other drivers decide to maybe split the stage as well, and split this final stage and try to put themselves in a good position here at the end as Hewitt. Oh, contact there with Hugh Brown as Hugh Brown got loose. Danny Carpenter is going to get 2 spots there. Hugh Brown coming to pit road.
Hugh Brown
He
will
run
make
the fuel.
Yep, he'll make that dive down pit road. He was definitely about to run out of gas there behind the wheel of that 7 car. It was getting a bit close. He does have enough gas. He is making it down pit road just fine. But yeah, he needed to come down there or else he was going to run out. So the pit window is open if anybody wants to split the stage. But I think because of how little tire fall off there is here, we're going to see drivers start to run it very long. I mean, you're seeing guys only run lap times that are about half a second off their best laps, anywhere from half to 0.8 of a second. A pit stop here just really isn't worth it, I feel like, in the long run. I think we're going to see a lot of cars go long.
I'm sure a few of these drivers felt like if they didn't need fuel, they would probably stay out the whole run right here. As the laps, we have 32 laps to go. 31 laps to go as Duggar came across the line. Alvarez there, 1.2 back. Carpenter, 5.4 back. So we'll see if Alvarez can find some here for Duggar and see if somebody can maybe do something with a strategy here at the end.
Coming to about 30 to go here. Laps are rapidly starting to wind down in this race. Steinhoff's gotten clear of Otero in that battle. This is for third. Chavez Essery continues to hound Danny Carpenter for that position, and he might get it right here. Let's see. Chavez Essery, who has driven up through the field here in this third stage, is going to get that third position. Maybe William Hewitt can get around Carpenter as well for fourth.
Great battle right here at the edge of the top 5. Danny Carpenter all over the back bumper. Oh, he gets really tight. Oh, man, it's going to open the door for William Hewitt.
We'll see if he can get that spot done. He is trying. Doesn't look like it's going to work for now, though. Danny Carpenter is definitely slower than Chavez Essery, who's gotten quite a bit of a gap opened up here. Hewitt will take another peek into 3, but doesn't see. Well, maybe he will have the speed. He's loose. He's loose. He's in the grass. Save it. He does.
What a save by William Hewitt.
That was close for sure between those 2 cars. Hewitt in trouble, but he did a great job to keep it straight, not hit that inside wall. The issue is he will fall all the way back to P9, and he's now under threat from Michael Kurgelak for P10.
Not only avoiding that inside wall, but now overcorrecting it right back and into the field and taking all their drivers with him. He'll take a deep breath, regroup, decide what he wants to do for his strategy. Like we said, lost a couple positions there.
We'll need to work hard to get those spots back, especially with so little time left in the race. Meatball for William Lark. That car is totaled. He was running 16th at the time of this incident occurring. Oh my God. What? Did his wheel die? That is all I can think of, is that his wheel gave up.
Do we have like a straight on shot? No, I don't.
No, his wheel is moving.
I don't know if he got like loose or.
I got nothing for you. I have absolutely nothing for you on that one. I have nothing. You know, he was running. I believe he was running last car on the lead lap at the time, so maybe he just decided that would be more fun than parking it. I got nothing for you.
I don't know if he was trying to go close to the wall and forgot how close he was. I don't know.
His wheel was basically straight the whole time, so yeah, all right. But fun stuff going on at Indy, and we're going to have some pit stops beginning in earnest here. Daniel Best will be the one who makes the move down. We talked to him a little earlier. He said he wanted to try some strategy in this stage. He's going to do it right here. See if he can make it work. He'll be the first car down that is not named Hugh Brown.
See what he does here for tire selection. Looks like this left sides are up. And it looks like it'll just be the left sides. No, it'll be right sides as well. 12.7 seconds.
That was a quick pit stop there. If he did get all the tires on it, that is really, really impressive for that driver. Black flag,
And
speeding on pit road, Daniel Best. And that is going to be
the end of his night.
Yes, it will be.
All right, got another car. Looks like coming down pit road here.
Yep, he just forgot the pit road speed limit. Started going 61. He just wasn't paying enough attention.
Whoops.
Woo.
Too
That is
fast.
going to be, that is going to be devastating for Daniel Best. Here comes Kurjalak down pit road. So far in this pit cycle, we have seen one successful pit stop, one full speed slam into the pit wall, and one speeding penalty. So will Kurjalak be our second successful pit stop of the cycle? He is in. He's got the rights up. Let's see here. He's gonna get the lefts up, or is he's only gonna go for 4? Okay. Does get those lefts up. Slow stop from his crew there, and he is off in that 41 car. And look at that, doesn't speed. Good job, Kurjalak. Chris Chavez Essery is gonna come into the pits as well, and now it has really, really begun. He is down. Steinhoff is down, Bird is down, Alvarez is down, so that's 4 of your top 10 making the move into the pits here.
Right now we got 13 cars on the lead lap. 13 cars with the potential of still winning this thing.
We got a couple more than that because Hugh Brown and Kurjalak are both on the pit cycle. So they'll cycle around to the lead lap once everybody comes down. We'll see how long certain cars are willing to stretch it. I believe these guys will probably have about 5 or 6 more laps on fuel. It's just a matter of deciding when you come down. There is your leader. Alan Duggar is in, and Danny Carpenter will stay out. So the 28 will get a lap lead here. Wasserman will go with him in the 57 car.
Nice smooth stop here for the Alan Duggar machine. Let's see if he can pull it off.
We got a couple more DNFs here while this is all going on. Tommy Osborne out along with Bradley Knopsnyder, Billy Brickley, and William Lark. So we got 4 more cars who have retired from your race.
Duggar had to back it up on pit road.
Yeah, he did. That'll be a slow stop for him. We'll see if he comes out still in the lead or if that helps Alvarez get the jump he needs. Let's see where he blends out. Duggar's coming out of the pits right now, and I'm very interested in where he's able to blend out here in comparison to Alvarez. The answer is way, way, way in front. Well, maybe not, because Duggar's having to get way on the brakes here through 2. Maybe a little more than he needed to. And here comes Alvarez. Watching the blend, it looks like Duggar is out comfortably in front of the 19 car.
We take a quick look at our driver times and box times. Alvarez had a 15.2 stop. Duggar had a 12.5.
Yeah, it was not a great stop there for Alvarez. That'll really set him back. I wonder if fuel is the difference there. Alvarez taking a whole tank. Duggar taking only as much as he would need to make it under green. Wonder, we get a caution here and we get a green-white checkered. Would that come back to bite that car? Only time will tell. Fastest lap, though, goes to Chavez Essery, who on these new tires is moving. Gonna see Hegland come into the pits here. It looks like only a few more are still out on the track. Those cars are Carpenter, Hewitt, Judd, Hyatt, and Danino. We're waiting on a pit stop from those 5, and then it'll cycle around to a 3-second lead for Alan Duggar.
We'll have to see how this pans out. I thought we might have a caution there on that pit strategy. You know, with somebody coming down pit road, not used to the green flag scenario. I'm not sure if that's what happened there with the one car that had an issue coming to pit road, but yeah, a lot to digest there, and it looks like it's going to still benefit Alan Duggar, who had a phenomenal pit stop by his crew.
He's way out in front. He's going to come up here on Paul Danino. That'll be for 4th on the racetrack, but Danino, as mentioned, has not pit. And that'll cycle around to an Alan Duggar lead here in just a second. Ronald Judd is down into the pit lane in that 64 car, so that'll be one of your 5 making the turn down. Danny Carpenter continues to just stay out, lead some laps here. You get a bonus point for leading laps, so really no issue to stay out here. Carpenter will make the move down, and now it's William Hewitt deciding to stay out and play it long. He'll get himself a bonus point for leading a lap in the 17 car.
There of William Hewitt. One of those drivers, if I'm correct, was on that playoff bubble. Hopefully he can salvage a decent night. I do see a couple of these drivers that are pitting much later going a lap down, so we'll see how it pans out. As Hewitt comes through turn 4 here, we will see if he decides to come down pit road this time. He does. Makes the left-hand turn. Now we got the number 2 Hyatt in the lead. Let's see what his decision is. Not officially in the lead yet, but he is the car that would cycle to the lead if he stays out in that number 2 Camaro.
Yeah, he would cycle to the lead. I wonder if he has enough gas, because in theory, you might want to go a lap here just to get a bonus point for leading the lap. He did come down actually 5 laps after Hewitt, so he might have enough gas here to stay out for a couple more, and it looks like he will. So Joshua Hyatt will get himself a lap led, but Alan Duggar, who will cycle around to the leader, is in hot pursuit as his gap to Peralta Alvarez only continues to grow. That 15 car is moving.
This Alan Duggar machine seems to be in a place of his own. Stephen Bird getting
too fast on entry.
Way
too fast on entry, yep.
That'll do it.
Just too fast on entry for Stephen Bird. That will be devastating for that 26 car. He came down 6 laps ago. So I'm not sure if this is like a tech issue that's causing him to come down, but something caused Stephen Bird to both come down and miss pit road speed by about 50 miles an hour. Black flag Hyatt as well. This might be on exit. Let's see.
Looks like that was an entry penalty. And it looks like some of these drivers are not realizing that pit road speed starts at that first cone, first line on entry.
Yeah, Joshua Hyatt.
You can see him brake really hard after that. Yep, you can see him brake really hard after the line.
He gets popped on entry there for going too fast in, and that will be devastating for Joshua Hyatt as well as Stephen Bird. Both of those cars are too fast on entry and will have to serve some lengthy penalties down here with 18 laps to go. Alvarez is starting to try and claw back some time. It was a bad lap last time around for Alan Duggar. Gave up about 0.3 of a second to Peralta Alvarez, who in that 19 car is starting to close back in on your race leader. Let's see that time. Well, he only got about 1/10 that time, so not as much for Alvarez, but he is definitely starting to get some speed.
With 17 laps to go, it might be too little too late as William Hewitt sets another fast lap here tonight, 51.33. Laying down some hot laps late into this race.
Ooh, here we go. Carpenter up the inside of Hugh Brown for P6. Carpenter, one of the later pit stops in this run versus Hugh Brown, who was the earliest pit stop in this run. 12-lap tire advantage as the 28 car shoots straight around him right there.
That's the first time there's been any tire advantage here all night until we got to this final stage.
Yeah, 12 laps does seem to do enough here, especially in this final stage where the sun is trying to peek its head back out of the clouds here and give us a little bit extra track temperature and a little bit extra wear through the latter part of this run with only 16 to go.
Just 16 laps to go. Alan Duggar is just trying to click these laps away. He's got a lead right now of 3.2. Oh, Hewitt there, sideways. Is that the short chute?
I'm not sure. Looks like it might have been there for Hewitt, having some problems in that 11 car. He is running back in 5th at the moment to try and get it turned back around. Hugh Brown still under threat. Ryan Steinhoff is going to take a dive up to the inside of that 7 car. Oh, but he has to back out. Not a good corner entry for the 74 of Steinhoff. They will stay side by side back here for P7, and the 74 car looks like he will finally get it off the corner. Not quite. He's still not clear. Good job by Hugh Brown to fight back.
I think Steinhoff had a little bit of a wiggle there. Coming off of turn 2, really trying to throw it down in there. Hugh Brown trying to hold the twos outside. Both drivers wiggle here into the short chute. Hugh Brown trying to get to the outside. Can he do it and hold them off really tight on exit? Yes, he can. They're going to be side by side again down the front stretch as Daniel Best looks on. I believe Daniel Best is going to be 1 lap down in 14th.
Yeah, Daniel Best just trying to recover there after that pit road penalty. Really put an end to his chances of a good finish here tonight in that 5 car. Oh, near contact there between Steinhoff and Hugh Brown. And oh, he saved it and he held the spot. Whoa. I thought that was about to be a moment.
There's been a lot of those tonight. And Steinhoff doing a great job of holding on to that number 74 Chevrolet.
It's not often that you Tokyo drift after a corner and successfully make the pass. That is wild there for the driver of that 74 car to actually pull that move off. Now, as you mentioned, that lap down car, Daniel Best, is trying to close in on Hugh Brown as well. Side by side further back, Kerjelek is going to get around. He's trying to get around Brian Wasserman here. It's like Wasserman will get up to 9th in that 57 car, but the 41 tries to cross him back over for P9.
Looking up front right now, even though we've got, I think that's 13 laps to go, Alvarez is cut into the lead to 2.5.
He is starting to close in on that 15 car to try and get that spot back. My line here would usually be play the Jaws music, but my producer has said it in my ear, and now I feel bad stealing from him. But he is still gaining on that 15 car. Actually about half a second quicker that last lap. We'll see what it is at the line this next time around. Can the 19 and the 4 catch up to Alan Duggar here, or is it too late with only about 12 laps to go?
12 laps on a 2.5 mile track can feel like an eternity for Alan Duggar. Like we said, kind of struggling a little bit right here in this part of the run for some reason. Still around 2.4. We'll see it. Oh, contact there for the Wolf of Alvarez. That's going to hurt.
That'll hurt him for sure in his quest to get back up there to Duggar. Across the line that time, Alan Duggar a little bit quicker, 52.01 versus a 52.08 for Alvarez, and Duggar is making a big detour through the grass. That car is meatballed. Caution! This looks like his wheel his wheel disconnected. His wheel disconnected. Down the front straightaway, his wheel disconnected. Get an onboard replay of the 15 right as he crosses the yard of bricks. He goes hard left. Look at this. Look, you can see his wheels turn. He just goes dead left. His wheel disconnects. Oh, that is so rough for Alan Duggar. After dominating this race, and that is how it ends. You can see it cranked all the way left. It's still doing donuts.
Yeah, she is disconnected. Man. Well, I guess fate has been decided by technology.
Yeah, you can see it. It hooked dead left and it slammed on the brakes at the same time for that 15 car. Wheels just went straight left on that thing. That is devastating. And that car is going to be pretty torn up.
Yeah, I would say his night is done.
His chances of winning are certainly done.
Who wants tires, who doesn't?
We'll see. This is going to be the call of the race here on if anybody decides to come down or not. Peralta Alvarez and Chavez Essery are out here 1 and 2 at the moment, with Otero sitting in P3, Hewitt in 4th, Danny Carpenter in 5th. I think if you're someone like Hugh Brown here, now is a great chance to come down and put an extra set of tires on it because, I mean, you pit 22 laps ago, you were already running it long, or you're already running the undercut. You were running it long on fuel. This is, I think the 7 car absolutely comes down. I think it's just going to be a matter of preference who comes down from here. Maybe expect cars to do the opposite of whatever the leader does here. Ooh, fake. Yep, fake for the 19 car. 4 bites. And he might be the only one who bites. He's going to come down, and joining him in the pit lane is the lap down car of Joshua Sanchez, and then it looks like some more at the back of the field. Steinhoff, Hugh Brown, Brian Wasserman, and Michael Kurgelak will make that move down pit road. But up front, 5 cars stay out. It's Alvarez, Otero, Hewitt, Carpenter, and Hegland. Had to back up twice getting into his pit stall there. That can hurt his time. So does the 15 of Alan Duggar, missing the pit stall again. 4 comes out pretty good. Let's see. Oh, he'll be way out in front. Great stop for Chavez Essery to get that lead. And from there, it'll be Steinhoff, Hugh Brown, Wasserman, Judd, and Duggar is going to take a while to get some damage fixed.
I think that should put the number 4 in the 6th position with 4 fresh tires.
That will do that. We are going to take a very quick commercial break. When we come back, we'll have your last 8 laps. Stay tuned. We are back here from the Door Racing League at the Brickyard. We're heading down the front straightaway. The pace car will pull off for Gus Otero and Miguel Peralta Alvarez, who stayed out on old tires. We'll see how that works on the restart. Heading into the restart zone, it's a great jump for the 19. We're off at Indy.
Great jump there from Miguel Peralta Alvarez. William Hewitt, Gus Otero side by side for second.
Let's see who gets that spot. Hewitt seems to have the speed right now. Hey, look, back in fifth, it's Chavez Essery. First car on 4 fresh tires, and he gets the 28 of Danny Carpenter. A little out of shape. Chavez Essery has that spot for P4, and he is climbing, trying to get his second win of the season here tonight at the Brickyard and put himself closer to that playoff conversation. He needs to get 3 more cars, and it's notoriously hard to pass here, but he has the tire advantage. How will it shake out? 6 to go at the line this time.
How will it shake out? Does the Alvarez fake out benefit him, or does the pit stop by the number 4 benefit him by getting those 4 fresh tires? 6 laps to go, 3 cars to pass. Easy getting there, but it's harder to pass. He's gonna be in the wall almost. Woo.
I think he did hit it. I think it kind of held him in there down the short chute, and that'll really hurt his run down into 2. We're going to go door to door for P2 as a couple cars bang the wall hard like Carpenter behind. Here comes Chavez Asari as Hewitt and Otero are side by side. Asari's going to try to push Hewitt a little bit down the straightaway. Gives the favored air to that 17 car. We'll see if he can get clear of Otero or not. We're hitting each other off the corner, and now Chavez Asari will look high behind Gus Otero. He really wants to get around these two because they're on older tires, but they're in such a tight battle, and the racing line on this track is so narrow, he might need to make a desperate move here with 5 to go.
5 laps to go for Miguel Peralta Alvarez. Oh, Otero gets really tight and in the wall.
And that'll cost him big time. He'll fall back from second all the way to P8 by the time he gets that thing back rolling here. Steinhoff tries to get around him. Maybe P7, he'll recover pretty quickly, but that will send Chavez Essery up to 3rd. The issue is, after getting held up behind that battle, it's now a 1.1 second gap from him to Peralta Alvarez out front. Can't he cut into the gap, or is it just too little too late for that 4 car? That's what we're going to find out as William Hewitt holds second. Big move further back. Problems for Hugh Brown, and Gus Otero has sent it around. He's back in the top 5.
Doing a great job here. Oh, contact there off the wall. I believe that was Steinhoff. Gonna have Hugh Brown now all over his back bumper. Oh, Hugh Brown almost gets in the wall. These drivers are pushing it hard. 3.5 laps to go.
Big shot out to the inside there for the back. That is Wasserman in the 57 car trying to get a little bit of speed here. Trying to steal P7 away from that wounded Hugh Brown machine, who had a bad run down the front straightaway and lost a ton of positions. Chavez Essery continues to try and do battle as Brown and Wasserman are not done yet. These two are still going at it back here. And as we hit 3 to go, 7th is undecided, but the lead is also undecided. Oh, Hugh Brown is around. Car in the wall, caution is out. We're going to go to overtime. Turned off the nose of Wasserman.
Let's get a good look at that replay.
That we will. This is going to be coming down the front straightaway. It is Brian Wasserman, and it is Hugh Brown, and it looks like Wasserman might have just came up a little too hard there, and a pretty big hit for that 7 car. Catches that inside wall and takes some pretty heavy damage. That was a near miss there for a couple cars. I am a bit surprised that, let's see, who made it? Thomas Hagelin barely made it through that, and that car who came drifting in late was Daniel Best. Both very close to being involved. We've got one green-white checkered finish, and we're going to have to use it here.
And if Daniel Best made 0 contact right there, that's going to be our lucky dog.
I think he slipped through there just in time. We will see, but he will likely get the lucky dog, and he'll have one more shot here. Try to get some positions and get himself back up the field. All right. So we're going to use our green-white checkered here tonight. Here's how this works. We will go green with 2 to go. The green flag flies, and if the caution flies before we make it to the white, that will be the race. If we make it to the white flag, then we will take the checker. Doesn't matter how many cars start bidding it, we'll drive it around and take the checkered. So it all depends if a caution or if a wreck happens on when it happens to ultimately decide whether we'll get that extra lap or not. Brian Wasserman will take an EOL. He'll go to the back of the field. While we're at it, I want to call up, let's do a little bit of an interview here. I'm going to bring into the booth our current second place runner. That is the 17 car of William Hewitt.
Danny,
hey, William, you're up in the booth. How you doing?
Oh, hey, how you doing?
Hey, how you doing? Yeah, P2 right now. You're running pretty well. You think you're going to be able to push up there and steal that win away? What's your plan?
Looking like I have 5-lap newer tires, so it's really all coming down to the final the jump off the line here. If he can clear my nose and get ahead, the aero on this car is extremely hard to overcome. I can try and stay low on him, but I mean, it's a few and far between that I'm able to do that. So, I'm going to give it my best, that's for sure.
All right, well, good luck over these last 2 laps. We'll send you back to your team, and you can have that strategy conversation we intruded on.
Thanks, Guy.
All right, that was William Hewitt there, currently running in second. See if we can get somebody else up here in the booth here in just a second for maybe a couple more thoughts. How's this race going for you, Jeremy? What are your thoughts heading to 2 to go?
I thought heading to this final restart is it's going to be pretty crazy. These drivers have been doing a lot of give and take, and you can tell the end of this race is now turned into a lot of take. And we'll see what, like I said, William Hewitt said, you got to be able to be there on the restart, and if you can't stay there and he clears you, the aero is just really hard to overcome. So it's we'll have to see how it plays out.
Yep, we're heading down. It's going to be 2 to go, I believe, next time around for a lot of these drivers, and that'll be the ultimate test. 2 laps at Indy at a track that, like they said, is very, very aero dependent, and that is gonna, once we're gonna throw a wrench in things here. See if Daniel Best, is he getting his lap back? No, he will not. He will not get that lucky dog. It looks like the lucky dog will go to Joshua Hyatt in the 2 car, and he is going to be the one who ultimately gets that lap back. Our producer is picking Chavez Essery. I agree that he has the best tires. I don't know if he has enough time. I think Peralta Alvarez has been very, very dominant all throughout this race tonight. If there's anyone who can get it done from the lead, it's going to be that car, because he has some speed in that thing. Let's see who we're going to pull up into the booth right now. Looking at the cars who we, 1, have access to, and 2 are on the lead lap. I think it'd be fun to maybe talk to Ryan Wasserman after that. Let's see. Let's give him a couple seconds here to get ready. Hey, Brian, you're up in the broadcast booth. How's it going?
Hey, going all right. How about you?
Pretty good, pretty good. I know you just had that penalty. You're going to have to roll from the back on this restart. What is your plan to try to push it back up through the field here?
Yeah, that was pretty unfortunate. Definitely wasn't intentional. Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of traffic in front of me, so we'll have to see what happens here. I still got some fairly fresh tires, so I don't know. We'll see. I honestly don't even have a plan at the moment. Just going to ride it out and hopefully avoid anything that might happen in front of me.
All right, thanks so much. We'll get you back to your team here for this restart.
Appreciate it, guys.
That was Brian Wasserman there in 9th. We're going to get ready to get back going here. Peralta Alvarez is going to be out front. William Hewitt, you just heard from him, is going to roll off in 2nd here. Not a lot of laps left to go. In fact, only 2 laps left to go. So it is going to be a mad scramble here to get to the line and to win this race tonight at Indy. We're going to roll through 3 and 4. Track temp, 90 degrees. It's about the lowest it's been all race, so the speeds are going to be the fastest they've been all race. And it's going to be just in time for a 2-lap shootout at the Brickyard. Pace car will come off, this time out of 4. Up front, it'll be Miguel Peralta Alvarez in the 19. It'll be William Hewitt in the 17 in second. Back from there, it's Chris Chavez-Essery in the 4 and Danny Carpenter in the 28. And they're going to do the best pushing they've ever done in their lives here to try to get this thing going. We're going to slip down into the restart zone. What's the strategy for Alvarez? The strategy is right away, and that is exactly what Chavez-Essery needed because he is clear of Hewitt with 2 to go. Black flag, Hugh Brown for passing before the green. Hewitt is in the wall there, and that is going to be really bad for him. Chavez-Essery has the spot locked up. His eyes are not on Hewitt behind him. His eyes are only on that 19 car up in front of him. Who is going to get it done as we head down the back straightaway here at Indy?
It looked like the Alvarez was speeding up to the zone and kind of slowed down there at the end and kind of got everybody all messed up. We'll see what happens here though for Essery as we're coming to the white.
Oh, not ideal here, not ideal. He's super tight and almost into the wall, and that'll cost him about 0.2 of a second as Alvarez takes the white flag here tonight. Miguel Peralta Alvarez trying to get a win here in the Door Racing League. Can Chris Chavez-Essery stop him, or will Alvarez get his first win of the season here tonight at the Brickyard? Coming out of turn 2, the gap is still half a second. That tight moment for Essery seems to have really hurt his speed, and that might have been all she wrote for the driver of the 4 car. He's got 2 more turns to try to get close. Is Alvarez going to make a mistake, or will Miguel Peralta Alvarez be perfect? Coming out of turn 4, it's too much of a gap to make up, and as we head back to the line of bricks, it's going to be Miguel Peralta Alvarez getting to burn it down on top of him. He wins at the Brickyard. He gets it done. Chavez-Essery will bring it home P2. William Hewitt P3. Gus Otero and Danny Carpenter 4th and 5th respectively. It's Gus Otero congratulating him on that win as he takes it back around to the front straightaway to get his burnout on here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. First win of the season for Peralta Alvarez. He won the first stage as well. Great race all night for the driver of this 19 car. And after some struggles in the last few weeks, 24th at Dover, 19th at Pocono, and the only 2 races he's ran here in the last 4 months. He'll get to burn it down this week at Indy as a first-time winner in the Door Racing League. We're going to send to a quick commercial break. When we come back, we'll have results and the top 3. Stay tuned.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
We are back here in Indianapolis for the Door Racing League Brickyard. I guess you could say 104, but it ended up being a 107 with the overtime laps needing to be ran. And your winner tonight in the 19 car was Miguel Peralta Alvarez. Chris Chavez-Asari brings it home P2 with William Hewitt, Gus Otero, Danny Carpenter, Ryan Steinhoff, Thomas Hegland, Michael Kurgelak, Ronald Judd, and Brian Wasserman rounding out your top 10.
And just outside the top 10, your 15 drivers here, you got Joshua Hyatt, Hugh Brown, Daniel Best, Paul Danino, and Joshua Sanchez there in 15th. 16th to 20th, you got Brian Burchett, Stephen Bird, Michael Reeves, Alan Duggar, William Clark. 21st, 25th, you got Billy Brickley, Bradley Knopfschneider, Joshua Switzer, Nathaniel Pollard, and Tom Osborne, and Steve Lamar running our field in 26th.
I think we'll talk straight to the winner of this race first. That is Miguel Peralta Alvarez. We will get him up in the booth here. How's it going, Miguel?
Hey, how are you guys?
Pretty good, pretty good. Get your first win of the season, and it's at the Brickyard. How does it feel?
It feels pretty good, man. It's been a tough season for me. You know, I couldn't participate in a lot of races because my, real life issues, but I tried to fight. You see that a couple races I wrecked, and I didn't went to the boxes in Dover, but now I've been pretty lucky also with Alan, and I'm pretty, unfortunately, the issue that Alan has, but he was having a pretty good pace too, and that was an amazing race, to be honest. I decided to stay out in the green white in the first yellow before the green white checker, and then the last yellow was a painful, because I said all of these guys, they're coming with a brand new tires. I have to do a good restart and then do iron racing.
Yeah, you dominated that first stage there. You won it. You led basically every lap in it. You kind of were back in the mid-pack in that second stage. By the time the third stage came around, you were right back on it. How'd you pull yourself back up through the field?
Well, basically, trying to don't fight too much between the dirtier, in this track position is 90% of the race, and you don't waste your time fighting, for position that you know that you won't win, like turn 4 or turn 2. That is pretty, the car gets pretty tight in the entry, and then you get pretty loose in the entry and pretty tight in the exit when you have dirtier. And then I follow the pack. I try to win in the front stretch, in the back stretch, and get in the inside in the corners, and that was pretty much that's it, And in the second stage, I don't know what happened in the outside line. Everybody got stuck there. The inside line way faster, but it is what it is, huh? This is why I love NASCAR oval racing. Is amazing. You never know until the end.
All right, who do you have to thank tonight?
I'm sorry?
Who do you have to thank tonight?
Well, Alan. Alan has a pretty good pace before we went into pit in the last stage. He was having like 0.9 seconds ahead of me, and then he did a pretty good pit stop. He went out of the pit like 3 seconds ahead of me, and I couldn't ensure that. It's very unfortunate to him what happened with his steering wheel, but I take advantage of that, and after that, I try to manage the rest of the race. But I think that it is a pretty good lobby. That was a pretty clean race. Normal wrecks, nothing crazy. That was a pretty good race, to be honest.
All right, congrats on the win tonight, Miguel Peralta Alvarez.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Let's see you next weekend.
See you next week. All right, and we're now going to bring into the booth Chris Chavez-Essery, who will be standing by with Jeremy Briggs.
Yes, we have our second place finisher of Chris Chavez-Essery. Welcome back up to the booth, Chris. Man, it almost seemed like you might be able to get those 4 tires to work after just restart there in 6th. What else did you need to finally get around there, Miguel there to get that win?
Man, the first lap on the restart, I got tight out of 4, and that it cost me a lot of speed. I would have been on his bumper, and I probably could have made a move in 3 and 4 on that final lap, but that getting tight out of 4 on that first lap after the restart was just too much.
Yeah, it looked like a lot of drivers were struggling with that aero tight, and it looks like it almost bit you a couple times there. Walk us through the race overall, and did your strategy play out like you thought it would?
Man, the car felt great on the long runs. I was in I felt like I was in good position all race to have a shot at the end. I got stuck in that caution, that big wreck that looked like got half the field, and when I was able to get through the whole field after that restart, Duggar and Miguel were about 4 or 5 seconds. So I was like, I need the caution, and I got it. Unfortunately, it was Duggar. I would have loved to race against him as well at the end there. That would have been fun. But I'm happy with the P2.
We come home in second place here at the Brickyard. That's got to be a pretty good accomplishment, with the track being as tricky and complex as it can be all night. Who do you have to thank for getting you here tonight?
Got to thank my team, all the guys at Red Snapper Racing, Steinhoff, Kurjalak, Burchett, Tommy Osborne, and my crew chief, my brother, Philip Chavez. He helped us a lot tonight.
Awesome. We appreciate your time, Chris. Congratulations on your second place finish. Hopefully we'll speak to you in the near future.
Awesome. Thank you.
All right, and I am going to bring up into the booth here in just a second, third place finisher, William Hewitt. How you doing, William?
Hey, Sky. How you doing?
Pretty good, pretty good. We talked to you a couple times tonight. You weren't able to hold on to second on that least restart, but you still got third. How does it feel?
It's bittersweet for sure. I knew I had a fast car today, and I knew that if I could get a good jump on him, I think I talked to you right before the last jump, but if I got a good jump on him, I'd be able to, but ended up not getting a great jump on the restart on that green white checkered. And I'll take third. Third pays pretty well.
How was it with the kind of aero here? I know we've seen a couple drivers talk about dirty air and how that kind of affects this race. How are you working through that tonight?
You just have to monitor where you are in the pack and where everybody pit. I mean, you're right. They're with the aero package on these cars, and in Indy, if you could be running 51.1s the entire time in open air. If you're in a slow pack, you're going to go the speed of the pack, so you'll be running 52.3s by that time. So really, you just have to monitor where you are, because you're going to be going with the fast guys, or you're going to be bogged down with the slow guys.
All right, anyone you have to thank tonight, William?
My wife, Molly, my 2 cats, Cleo and Tally. And door to door racing. Can't forget them.
Can't forget about them, yeah. Congrats on P3 tonight, William Hewitt, and thank you so much for spending some time with us in the booth here over the course of the race.
Thanks, guys. You guys have a good night.
And that will be the end of our race here tonight at Indy. Looking ahead to next week, on August 3rd, we will be at Iowa here. Jeremy, tell us a little bit about that track.
Iowa, we're going out to the cornfields, and it's going to be an interesting race. I believe iRacing should have the new updated track there with some of those changes, that fresh pavement in 1 and 2. We'll have to see how the drivers manage that. I believe it might be a night race. I can't remember, but we'll have to see how that plays out for these drivers. And man, the racing here with Door to Door has been really good these last few weeks. Yes, we had a couple cautions, but that's just the name of the game when you got drivers out there, 20 plus drivers fighting for positions each and every week, and they do a really good job of not creating too much of a fuss with that. And man, the racing here was excellent tonight, and I'm excited to go to Iowa.
Really good race here tonight. Like you said, Iowa should be a fun one. It'll be same time, same place on Maconi Entertainment next Sunday. For everybody back at Maconi and at the Door to Door Racing League, for myself and Jeremy and DJ up in the booth, make sure you subscribe and like to Maconi Entertainment so you can see more races like this in the future. And also, have a good night.
want to be the best, you can't settle for the rest. For anything on iRacing, there's just one name you need, Maconi.
With the launch of Maconi Entertainment and Maconi Competizone alongside Maconi Setup Shop, we now provide the best of the best in setups, paint schemes, coaching, broadcasting, and event organization.
With cars across all 4 license classes, we have what you need to hit the track with confidence. Grab a subscription and save money while going fast at MaconiSetupShop.com/subscriptions.
And remember, at Maconi Setup Shop, there are setups, but your victories.